Hello everyone and welcome back to another vlog. I have been looking forward to this vlog for a while. As soon as I found out, I kind of knew about this readathon, but as soon as I found out more about it, I was like, oh no, I have to do this, duh. Autumn's my favourite season, Halloween is my favourite holiday of the year, so bringing those vibes into the middle of summer is just, yes, it's everything. So, what I want to do right now is kind of go through all of the prompts for this readathon and then tell you which books I have picked out, and then we can go on and start one of them. I kind of have an idea of which one I want to start though. I made a really gross looking spread just to keep track of the readathon. I haven't even said which one it is. So today we are obviously doing a Summerween vlog, which it's just, it's so good. So I'll put somewhere in the description or on screen who created this readathon. I don't actually remember who it was, but I'll remember to put it somewhere. So there's 5 prompts and we have obviously picked a book for each prompt, and I will just go through them, and yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. So the first prompt is read a book in the dark, and obviously I could have really picked anything for this, but I definitely wanted to stick within the vibes and the themes of the readathon. So I decided to pick Carmilla by Sheridan Lee Fanu. I don't know, I feel like I've never said this author's name out loud before, but this is, you know, the classic that inspired Dracula. This is supposedly like the original vampire story, and you would have seen this in my mid-year book tag, but I do have a stunning edition of this book. But I thought that this would be a good one to read in the dark because, hi, if you don't know, summer in the UK doesn't get dark until about 10 p.m. So I was thinking, I don't actually have that many dark hours to really work with. So I thought this really short little book would be perfect for this prompt. And I am really looking forward to this because it's quite a short classic. The words on the page are really big. And again, if you don't know me, I just love vampires. Like, yeah, vampires, kind of my thing. I love them. So that is the first book. And then the second kind of prompt is quite broad, to be honest, and it's just read a thriller or a horror. And actually I'm realizing I have 2 books on this, no, I have like 3 books on this TBR that fit this prompt, but I really wanted to pick a different book for each prompt and not overlap, because I wanted to do as much reading within these like 5-6 days as possible. So for this prompt specifically, we picked Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. If you don't know, this is a very, very popular thriller. I believe there's also a movie about this book. I have never seen the movie. I do not know what this book is about, so I'm so excited to read it because it's really fresh and new to me, even though obviously it's probably older than I am. Should we have a look? Oh, it's not older than I am. Oh, it's nowhere near. This book came out the year I started secondary school, so it came out in 2015, so it's almost 10 years old. I definitely thought it was older than that. Okay. But it's quite like a cult classic. I think people really love this story, and I'm definitely intrigued to get into this one because I think it's just going to be a fun time for sure. Ooh. And then, oh, okay. And then we have a book with a night sky on the cover, and I maybe, you know, my pick is questionable. Does it have a night sky, or is it kind of just a black cover? You know, who knows? I've decided it's a night sky. You'll have to see what you guys think. But the book I am picking is The X-Hex. If you do look at the cover, there is a moon and there's stars. So, you know, maybe it's just a very simplistic night sky. That's what I'm choosing to believe. And this is a cutesy little romance. Oh, this is by Erin Sterling, by the way. And this is just a cute little romance of, I believe, a witch, and she hexes this guy with her friend, and then I don't really know much more than that, but I am very excited for it, and I've been waiting for a perfect moment to read it because I didn't just want to, you know, randomly read it. I either wanted to read it in October near Halloween, or something like Summerween was honestly the perfect opportunity for this book to be read. So yeah, that is our pick for that prompt. And then penultimately we have a book with, oh wait, no. So I actually didn't pick The Girl on the Train for the reader thriller slash horror prompt. I've literally been looking at my notebook. I actually picked Rouge by Mona Awad. This is a horror, I believe. Yeah, definitely thought I picked this for a different prompt, but I definitely didn't. This one is actually, or it should be. Wait, I thought, oh, there it is. It's signed, which is very cool because I did read Bunny and it was an interesting experience to say the least, but I definitely enjoyed myself. So yeah, sorry about that. I picked this one for read a thriller slash horror. Duh, I'm an idiot. I actually picked The Girl on the Train for read a book with 5 words in the title, you know, the girl on the train. Yeah, already spoken about this one, so that's fun. I'm expecting Rouge to be really just weird and kind of wacky and obviously like scary and eerie and creepy at the same time, and I feel like it's going to be a fun time, and I'm so glad I'm finally getting around to it because I believe I got this like when it freshly came out, so I've had it for a while now. When did this come out? It came out last year. So I've had it for a little bit and I feel like she's just been waiting to be read, and she finally will. That's so annoying that I messed that up. I'm so annoyed by that. Okay, and then the final prompt is read a book that's set in the summer. And again, I'm trying to work with the themes and the vibes, so I could have just picked any old romance that was set in the summer and it would have worked, but I did not want to do that. So I picked We Are Liars by E. Lockhart. I've definitely heard mixed opinions on this. I don't think it's the best thriller in the world by any means, but it was just the one that stood out most obviously to me as a book set in the summer, but also worked for, you know, the Halloween-y vibes that we're kind of going for. So yeah, I know nothing about this. I believe it might be a group of friends on like a holiday, like on an island or something, and then I'm obviously assuming that something goes wrong, but honestly I'm not too sure. I have no idea. But yeah, those are our 5 picks and I'm really excited about all of them. I'm very just excited for this whole readathon, to be completely honest, and I'm literally gonna go and start one of the books right now because I'm just looking forward to it so much. I literally just started The Girl on the Train. How creepy is this? The book starts on Friday the 5th of July. Today is literally Friday the 5th of July. I feel like that's such a weird coincidence. Literally Friday the 5th of July, 2013. Also, I found Practical Magic. So, as you would have seen yesterday, I did watch Practical Magic, and I did start The Girl on the Train. Now, I regret that combo drastically because I got completely sucked into Practical Magic and I really struggled to read any of this. So I only got to page 40 and honestly, I've got no idea. Sorry, I'm like crouching and I'm wobbling. I've got no idea what's going on. But that is fine because it's just you know, the first 40 pages. I kind of roughly know what's going on. I'm a little bit confused with the characters and whose story, like, the characters are in. But my fringe looks weird. Why did I touch it? It looked fine. Okay, I've completely messed up my fringe. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on like who the characters are and how they play into like this, like, because there's kind of two POVs, and I think I'm getting a bit confused between the two POVs and stuff like that, but it's fine. I'm gonna bring this book with me today, like on the train and stuff, and we will see how I get on with it, and hopefully I'll be able to understand it a little bit more. I did also though start the X-Hex because I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to like power through this one, and I wanted to just start something else so that I felt like I'd made some progress. So I believe I'm literally like a couple chapters into the X-Hex, but as of right now I really like the premise and like the vibes of it and everything. I think I'm gonna really enjoy that one. But I just need to power on with The Girl on the Train. Honestly, I think I need to look up a synopsis, because when I go into thrillers and I don't have any idea what they're about, I think I get really confused, and I think it would be better if I just have like a brief idea, maybe like the tiniest little spoiler as to what the book is kind of actually about, and I think that will help me get into it a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the cats and they look so cute. Let me show you them. Here's Bats. And then there's Win. Oh no, they're so cute. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of reading plans. I am gonna take this heavy hardback with me and try and make some progress, because I really want to finish my entire TBR for this readathon, so I need to power through with that one and, you know, just get through it. Excuse my fringe, by the way. I am starting to try to grow it out to be more of like a curtain bang moment, and she's just not looking cute today. I don't know what's going on, but just ignore her. Just pretend she's not there, yeah? Oh, look at them. What are you guys doing? Also watching the F1. Oh, the F1 practice before qualifying later. Just really brief and quick update, but I have been reading The Girl on the Train, and I've actually read loads of it. I'm on page 162, so I'm halfway through now, and it is crazy. I definitely have my theories. I'm very intrigued in it. I love reading books where like the main character is not meant to be likable. Like, I don't think I'm meant, oh god, I don't even remember her name. I don't think I'm meant to like, hold on, Rachel, duh. I don't think I'm meant to like Rachel, and I don't think I'm particularly meant to like Megan either. Maybe even not Anna. I don't think any of like the female characters that we've gotten perspectives from I'm meant to like, and I think that just makes it such an interesting read. And then obviously also just the whole mystery thriller-esque aspect of it and trying to figure out what happened. It's just been a really fun time, and I have been getting through it quite quickly, and yeah, halfway through now. I'm hoping to maybe make a little bit more progress today, but probably not too much. But I think I'll probably be able to get it finished tomorrow, which is exciting. Oh, my fringe. I hate my fringe at the moment. It looks awful. Anyway, we're gonna head out now, which is why I'm not gonna continue reading. But I want to show you the view from this window, because I don't think you'll be able to figure out where we are, and it's so gorgeous. How nice is it? Oh. Okay guys, it is, what day is it today? Monday. I actually don't know what the time is. It's 9 o'clock and we have only just finished our first book of Summerween, like 3 days in. I'm really disappointed about it, but it's fine, we can catch up. So we have finished The Girl on the Train, and it was not what I expected. I actually haven't settled on a rating yet. I think I definitely need to think about it for a while with this one. I'm not sure if it's even something I want to rate. I don't know, I just really can't think of a rating for this one just yet. But yeah, this was like a thriller. Like our main character, Rachel, she goes on this train every morning, and she sees this like couple that live in this house that backs onto like the rail tracks. But then one day she sees something. Maybe we'll say it like that. I'm reading the blurb but I'm realising they don't tell you. So she basically sees something, and it has her wanting to get a little bit more personally involved with these people's lives than maybe she honestly should have. And I guess that's kind of all I'll say. But if you do know what this book is about, then I'm going to talk vaguely, but you may understand. I don't think this book is meant to have any likeable characters. Basically, within this book, we do have 3 different perspectives. We have Rachel, Anna, and Megan. I won't say who Anna and Megan are because it might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I don't think any of them are meant to be likeable characters. I don't think you're meant to, I don't know, like them. I definitely think there's likeable aspects of all of them, and then there's a lot of unlikable aspects about all of them as well. Honestly, the male characters, not likeable. Just everything, but that's the point. Like, I'm not saying that to say this is a bad book, like, that's the point. They're not meant to be likeable. At least I don't think they were meant to be. And it's just very interesting. I definitely didn't expect the ending. I'm not sure if I loved the ending. Like, I don't know. It was one of those situations where for most of the book, I didn't guess it, but then once it started building up to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is what happened, like that makes a lot of sense. So then when everything started to go down, I don't know, it just felt a bit anticlimactic to me, which is maybe why I'm still not too sure on the rating. It was definitely like an enjoyable read. I think once I really got into it, I flew through it quite quickly. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting one, but I'm glad I've read it now because I feel like it's kind of a cult classic in the thriller world. And now I've read it, and I'm definitely glad that I have. It was good. I think there's a movie, I think, so it may be interesting to watch the movie at some point as well, see how they've done it, see if they change anything. But yeah, we have finished 1 out of 5, and there's 3 days left. So honestly, guys, it's not looking good. But we can do this. I believe in us. I have nothing to do, really, on the remaining days of Summerween, so hopefully we can fly through the rest of the TBR. As for what we're going to read now, I'm not going to lie, it's 9 PM and it's still not dark outside, and I really want to read Carmilla when it's like dark outside, not just dark in here, because if I turn the light off right now, it will be dark in here, but I want it to be nighttime. So I am going to wait a bit, but I also want to say this book is only 150 pages, but the text, like the font looks like this, so I honestly think I'll be able to read it in one sitting, so we may do that tonight. Obviously it's gonna get dark when it gets dark later at like 10:30, which is, yeah, it'll probably be about 10:30 when it's like pitch black outside, so maybe we can pick this up because it's only 150 pages. It is a classic, but the font is massive. So I should be able to get through it very quickly, hopefully. So I've been reading. Oh no!
You can't oh no yourself. You can't do that to yourself.
doing it to
Can you turn
because
your
I paused
PC
your
off?
video off. What?
Can you turn your PC off? She's been caught red-handed. This red light is more on you than it's on your hands. What?
So, I've been reading. It's not funny. I'm sorry, it's not funny. I've been reading. No, stop. I've been. It's zoomed in still. There we go. I read. Shut up, man. Let me film.
I haven't done anything. What have I done?
Let me film.
Play the clip back. VAR it.
You went. Oh, when you got up.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
VAR.
No.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So it's about 11:15 now. We've had dinner, and I've also been reading. I can't pick it up. Also been reading The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, and I'm on page 76 now, so I've made a decent bit of progress. I think I'm about 26-27% of the way through, and it is just so fun. And I'm very excited to see where it goes, and I think I'm kind of starting to figure out like what the plot and stuff is going to be now, which is fun. Isn't that fun, Leon? Yeah. It's finally dark, as you would have seen, which means we can read Carmilla. I'm actually going to turn that light off so it's even darker, but it means we can read Carmilla, and I am excited, and I think it should hopefully be a quick read. Yeah, so we're going to start Carmilla. It's 160-ish pages, huge font, but it's a classic, so that might kind of like, you know. Could you save my game as well, please? Thank you. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my plans. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it in one, like, sitting, because it is 11:17 at night, which is obviously a bit late. But we'll just see, because I could get through this really, really quickly. I'll just have to wait and see, and I will keep you guys updated. Let's talk about the reading I managed to do last night, because I had a fun time, let me tell you. I had a good time reading last night, and I made some decent progress. So like I said, we did start with the X-Hex, and I believe I'm approaching 30%. Yeah, I'm 26% of the way through this book. I believe I'm on page 76, 77-ish, around that mark, and I think I already told you this. Thinking back, I think I spoke to you guys before I picked up Carmilla last night. But anyway, I'll just give a brief, overview in case I didn't. Really enjoying it, very fun. I'm enjoying the characters. I like the dynamic between the characters. I'm loving the subtle magic system that is present throughout this. I think this is becoming my new, a new sub-genre of fantasy for me, because it's basically just like incredibly low stakes fantasy. Like, think high fantasy and then think of the polar opposite, because this is literally romance with a subplot of fantasy. Even more so than romantasy, like even more of a subplot than romantasy, and I am enjoying it. I do really like it, and I will be looking into reading other books by this author for sure. My battery's running out, so let's speed this up. I did start Carmilla, didn't finish it. Listen, it's fine, because I did read half of it, so I'm gonna finish it tonight, and I am having such a good time with this. It's actually pretty spooky. I'm actually pretty scared. I will read you a little extract that scared me. But it's fun. I can see where the story is going in a good way. I think it's gonna be just really good. I can see how this inspired Dracula for sure. I'm just, yeah, loving the vibes of this one, definitely. I think this was a very strong pick for Summerween, if not my strongest pick of the TBR thus far, because this just fits the vibes for me perfectly. I want to read you this little extract, because it scared the life out of me. Honestly, I was reading it and I was like, oh my god, I'm scared, and that like never happens. Let me try and find it really quick. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna read it to you guys, and I want you guys to let me know if this is scary to you, because the mental image I got from this extract, I was like, no, like I could cry. This is terrifying. So let me read it. It says, so the little girl in the story, she's 6 at this point, and she wakes up and she's like alone in the nursery in her like castle. Okay, that's the context. It says, I was vexed and insulted at finding myself as I conceived neglected, and began to whimper, preparatory to a hearty bout of roaring, when, to my surprise, I saw a solemn but very pretty face looking at me from the side of the bed. It was that of a young lady who was kneeling with her hands under the coverlet. I looked at her with a kind of pleased wonder and ceased whimpering. She caressed me with her hands and lay down beside me on the bed and drew me towards her, smiling. I felt immediately delightfully soothed and fell asleep again. I was wakened by a sensation as if 2 needles ran into my breast very deep at the same moment, and I cried loudly. The lady started back with her eyes fixed on me and then slipped down upon the floor and, as I thought, hid herself under the bed. Just imagine waking up, right, and you think you're alone, and then you look to the side, and there's just a woman there. And then she gets into bed with you, and she cuddles you. And then you wake up, and you feel like you're being pierced with needles. Don't you just think that's terrifying? Obviously, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together, I'm assuming that this person was a vampire, and she was, you know, trying to drink her blood when she felt like she was being pierced with needles. And I just, honestly, I don't know why, but it got me. And I was like, ooh, I feel spooked. I feel spooked, which is the whole point of Summerween, so I feel like this is doing its job very successfully, and also for the time period that this was written, it's very digestible, the language, like, I know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about this one. I just wanted to read that extract because it freaked me out, and I think my plans for today are going to be to hopefully finish both of these books that I just spoke about. It's like 1 p.m, I think, nearly 2, maybe. I don't know, actually. It's either almost 1 or it's almost 2. Don't know. But I have about 2 hours and 45 minutes left in this book until I finish it, and then this will probably take me like an hour, maybe less, to finish Carmilla. So in theory, I should more than easily be able to get these books finished. And looking a little bit odd. I'm pretty sure one of my hair bands has snapped. Yep, it has. Just ignore it, okay? I kind of like woke up, opened my Kindle, finished a book, and now I'm here talking to you guys. So I haven't really, you know, done anything with my appearance yet today. I'm just realizing that that's probably going to be really loud. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. I need to fill up the water fountain. Everything should be a little bit more quiet now, I say as a bus goes past, which is really, really loud. I am sorry about the hair. I don't really know what's going on with her, but I do have some reading updates. I didn't do the reading I wanted to do yesterday, just because the flat was feeling a little bit cramped, so me and Leon decided to go through a whole bunch of our like random stuff and honestly chuck like loads of it away, so that, I don't know, everything just feels a lot more tidy. Where you are right now, there was a massive suitcase which has now been moved under the bed, which means we have a new filming angle, which I quite like this angle as well. So everything's just feeling a lot more open, but it did mean, you know, we were doing that for about 2.5 hours, so I did lose valuable reading time. However, I kind of made it up today. So where should we start? I did read a little bit of the XX yesterday, but I'll just talk about it in a second. I did read some Carmilla, but I haven't yet to finish it. Okay, I'm gonna finish it tonight, I can promise you that, because I have about 40 pages left. I was just getting really tired, and I thought, you know, I want to enjoy it, and the times where I'm reading this, I'm not thinking, like, if I didn't have this to read, I wouldn't be reading something else, so it's not really that big of a deal if it takes me longer, you know. I'll get it finished today, it's fine. Still enjoying it, but nothing new to really update you on with this one. But I did finish the X-Hex just now, actually. It's about 11:30. I finished it about 5 minutes ago. And it is really fun. I really, really enjoyed this one. I loved the plot. I really enjoyed the characters. I just liked, yeah, everything about this one, to be honest. There was just something lacking in it for me, though, which means I did end up settling with a 4-star rating. It just didn't quite have those 5-star feels to me, but I still really enjoyed it nonetheless, and I'm so glad to have read it, and I'm probably going to read the sequel because I think it's also on Kindle Unlimited, so I think I will be, you know, reading that one at some point in the future. But yes, so we have now finished officially the second book of the readathon. I do wish we were on 3, but it's fine. I am thinking if I need to, I will extend my personal Summerween by a day. Just, you know, I feel like I'm going to need an extra day to finish off the TBR, which is fine, but I do think I'm going to need it. So, plans for today are 110% going to be to finish Carmilla, and I would also love to make a ton of progress with Rouge by Mona Awad. I actually don't know how long this book is. We've discussed it, but I've forgotten. Okay, it's about 103. I did that the first time, I think. 370-ish pages. And the font is tiny, which is why I think I might need another day. I don't know how we're gonna go with If We Were Liars. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that one, if we're gonna get to it, but I do want to get to Rouge. So we will be starting this one today. I'm hoping it will be really fast paced so that I can kind of fly through it. I would love to maybe hit the 50% mark today and then finish it off tomorrow. We will see. But, you know, this is my main priority. So it is quite a bit later now. It's actually nearly 8:30 at night. Obviously it's still bright outside, like really bright, so haven't been able to finish Carmilla, but I have made a whole bunch of progress in another book on our Summerween TBR. So I have been reading Rouge, and I am now, I don't know what page I'm on specifically, but I'm around the 100-page mark of Rouge, so I believe I'm about a third of the way through. I've been making some steady progress. I decided to get the audiobook of Rouge, which I've been listening to, and I am definitely enjoying the audiobook. I think it's making it a lot more digestible. I can tell that, like, I read the first page of the prologue and I was like, if I want to get through this quickly, I cannot physically read it, because I think physically reading it would definitely take me a minute. I feel like I'm falling off the bed. There we go. Yeah, I feel like physically reading it would just take me a minute. So I decided to go for the audiobook, and obviously, naturally, if I'm listening to an audiobook, what do you guys think I'm doing? Yeah, I'm puzzling. I'm doing a puzzle. I'm actually trying a 1000-piece puzzle. I've done half of this puzzle before and then I didn't ever manage to finish it, so I'm giving it another go. It's one of the Shakespeare puzzles that they sell at Waterstones. I don't know if they sell them anywhere else, but I know they sell them in Waterstones. It's like one of those puzzles. I'll show you it hopefully if I complete it, but I've been listening to Rouge while doing that, and I also just straightened my hair after my shower and I listened to the audiobook while doing that as well. So I've listened to a decent amount. I think I've listened to almost 2 hours worth of the audiobook. Like, we've been going for it. I have 4.5 hours left, so I do feel somewhat confident that I'd be able to finish this before the end of Summerween, which is exciting. Which means we will hopefully have at least 4 out of 5 of the Summerween books read. Like I said though, if it seems like I will be able to finish what's it called? If We Were Liars? Is that what it's called? I'm not opposed to extending my Summerween to the Friday as well, to give myself an extra day to finish off the whole TBR, because I did lose a whole bunch of my weekend, so I feel like that's fair. But that's where we're at. My thoughts on Rouge, I didn't give you any. Weird. Enjoying it. It's weird, it's interesting. It honestly might be another one of those books that I'm not sure if I can rate. We'll have to see how the rest of the book goes. It's just very weird. It's, I actually believe it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's like, it says it's a horror-tinged gothic fairy tale. But it very much, like, there's a lot of talk of skincare and stuff, because it very much focuses on, like, the beauty standards and stuff, and just the societal impact, or more the impact on our main character that has, if that makes any sense. I don't really know. I feel like I'm not making sense. But, oh, it says Snow White meets Eyes Wide Shut. Maybe it's a Snow White retelling, but the character's name is Belle. Mirabelle. Belle. So, I don't know. But I will give more well-rounded thoughts when I've read more of this, because I feel like I still need to collect my thoughts and really think about what's actually going on, because it's, as you know, as Mona Howard is, if you've read Bunny, she's peculiar and she's strange, and that's what we love her for, but sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out what's actually going on. But I'm going to carry on with my puzzle. I'm realising that my SD card is about to be full, so I might delete some old footage from like 6 vlogs ago. And yeah, I've only done the edge of my puzzle in 2 hours, so that's fun. I will see you guys hopefully with more puzzle done and more Rouge read. So, it is the final official day of Summerween, and I have made a ton of progress, so I want to update you guys on everything. So I finally finished Carmilla. Like, I felt like it took me way longer than it needed to. Honestly, I should have been able to get it done in the first night, but it actually took me like 3, I think, or 4. It just took me way too long, but I have finally finished it and I really enjoyed it. I think it was just a really cool short like vampire classic, and I just really enjoyed it, and I think I settled on like a very solid 3.75. I feel like there's not much to it to warrant it really being much higher when you look at other books I've obviously given like 4 stars, but I definitely really enjoyed it. I don't have any like negative things to say about it, I don't think. I really enjoyed it. Yep, vampires, classic. There's like a sapphic element to it, so yeah, it was just a fun time, and it was spooky. It did like creep me out a little bit, so there's that one. And then I have been listening to a lot of the Rouge audiobook, and I have made a ton of progress, and I'm now on page 260, which is chapter 22. And that means I have 1 hour and 53 minutes left of the audiobook. I do listen in 2.4 speed, which might be literally insane to some people, but that's how quickly my brain works. And when it's slower than that, I feel like I can read ahead of what's on the page, even though I'm not following along for the most part, but I feel like I can read quicker than that, so I always turn it up really high. But it's getting interesting now. Once I finish this, I definitely want to watch like an in-depth book talk about this book, because there's so much to it. It's so detailed. I think it's kind of one of those books where not everything is going to get explained, like all the little things that Mona Awad is like alluding to. I don't think they're going to get explained, but I do think there's someone smarter out there who will be able to tell me a little bit more about like the hidden meanings behind everything, you know? Like, I'm definitely well into the part in Mona Awad books where the character just starts to literally go crazy, and you're kind of reading and you're like, is this real? Is this an illusion? Like, what's going on? I think it's a little bit more obvious in this than Bunny. I feel like in a good way, I feel like in Bunny I got really wrapped up in everything and I got really confused, and I was kind of like, what the hell is going on? Whereas in Rouge, I'm finding it easier to differentiate between what is actually happening in the real world and what our main character is exclusively seeing just in her head, if that makes sense. But it's very interesting. I've gotten to the point, I don't know if anyone's heard people talk about this book. I did watch one video before I read it, and I'm at the point now where she's starting to trip up on her words, and a good example for this is she keeps accidentally saying kill instead of kiss. So she's like, he killed me and I killed him back, but she actually meant kissed, which is very interesting, and I feel like it means something so much deeper than what I'm grasping. So I'm definitely going to try and find like an in-depth talk about this book, because I'm just really curious about what people are picking from it and pulling apart, and I think there's a lot to it. Random Duolingo notification. Leon's sister got a 200-day streak the other day, which is incomprehensible to me. I could never carry on with Duolingo that much. But that is where we're at with Rouge, and yeah, like I said, 1 hour and 53 minutes left, so I'm just going to puzzle for the rest of that time and 110% finish that off today. And then, in a miraculous turn of events, I'm feeling like if I don't go on my PC today, if I don't play Sims today, there's a very big chance that we can read the entirety of We Were Liars as well, because I just looked it up on my Kindle, because it's on Kindle Unlimited, by the way, and I just looked it up and I was like, let me see how long it is. It's 250 pages, like it's not long at all. It says the average reading time, or I don't know how it works, but it said like the typical time to read is 3 hours and 36 minutes. I don't know if that's calculated based on my reading speed or just like general, like an average of everyone's reading speed. I don't know, but I feel like I'll be able to finish that in like 3 hours, which is not what I was expecting. So in theory, I should maybe, like, if it's interesting enough to hold my attention, I should actually be able to read that in its entirety today as well, which was unexpected. So I'm gonna go, because I've been waffling, and I'm gonna finish off the Rouge audiobook, carry on with my puzzle, which I'm actually gonna show you, carry on with my puzzle, and then I may be able to read We Were Liars, or whatever the hell it's called. I keep forgetting. But update on my puzzle, I'm doing really well with it, and I think I'm probably around halfway through it. So you guys don't know what the image is, but I've done the whole river and most of the buildings in the middle, and then I've done a whole bunch of this like theatre, and then a whole bunch of this castle. So, you know, oh, I didn't mean to do that. But I've got like a lot of it done, like, so that's exciting. And currently, before we left to go out a few hours ago, I was sectioning out all of the green pieces to try and do like this section here and finish off this section down here. So that's where we're at. I'm feeling very confident that I can indeed do the whole 1,000-piece puzzle. So that's where we're at. So I do have a shirt on. It's just really warm today. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna carry on puzzling and listen to my audiobook and then read We Were Liars. Very exciting. I am back to wrap up the Summerween vlog. I have made the executive decision to not read We Were Liars. I read about 10% of it and I didn't feel drawn in enough to it to warrant like me really trying to power through it, and the prompt that it was for another book fits for it. So I've still completed all the prompts. We just read 4 books instead of 5 books, but I'm gonna really quickly go through them. I'm gonna really quickly go through them all, wrap them up, and give you my final thoughts on all of them. So, the first book that we read is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and I really enjoyed this one. I did. I think I'm not going to rate it because I don't feel 100% confident, but I think if I had to, it would probably be somewhere around a 3.75 to a 4. Probably more like, maybe more 3.5 to a 4, around there, so about 3.75 if I was going to rate it, but I don't think I'm going to, because I don't feel 100% confident with that rating, and I don't really want to stick to anything. But this was really good. I did really enjoy, you know, first of all, an incredibly unreliable narrator, specifically for Rachel, but I feel like maybe the other 2 narrators are also slightly unreliable as well. But yeah, Rachel was just a very unreliable narrator, which made it, I think, a little bit more mystery filled, because she didn't know what she could remember, and then even when she did remember things, us as the readers, but even her as well, was like, I don't know if this is real, like what I'm remembering, which was a very interesting element of the story that I wasn't expecting. Trigger warnings for alcoholism. Is that a word? I don't know. Main character's an alcoholic, so trigger warnings for that if that's something that bothers you. But overall, I did really enjoy it, and I'm just happy to have finally read, you know, this cult classic. And I still haven't checked if there actually is a film, but if there is, I'll probably give it a watch, because it was interesting. And yeah, like I said though, the ending did fall a bit short for me, and I think that's something common with a lot of people who have read this book. The ending just didn't feel like it lived up to what it was building towards the whole book, you know? And then we finished, on the Kindle, we finished The Ex-Hex, which honestly, I can't stop thinking about. Like, the cozy, small town vibes of it were perfect. Honestly, like, in my head, I am imagining Salem specifically depicted in Hocus Pocus. Like, those are just the kind of vibes I'm getting in my brain, and I love those vibes, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I definitely think it's a fun one to read, just a little silly witchy romance, but definitely read it in the autumn unless you're reading it for Summerween. I think it would just be even better in the autumn for sure. And then we finished Carmilla, which is our classic. Oh, I haven't even been saying what the prompts were. The Girl on the Train was a 5-word title, but also I'm going to use it for a book that is set in the summer, because this does take place over the months of July. Yes, July to August, so it fits that prompt. And then the XX was a night sky on the cover. There we go. And then Carmilla, read a book in the dark. So I did only read this from about 10:30 p.m. onwards, which is why it took me like 3-4 days to get through it, because I just kept getting so tired. But I really enjoyed this one. I just thought it was really good. It was a lot more simplistic in its language than I was expecting. Like, I definitely understood basically everything that was going on, which doesn't always happen with classics. Sometimes I'm reading and I'm like, I'm just gonna carry on, but I don't actually know what's going on right now. But that didn't really happen with this one. It only happened once, but that's because I stopped. It was on a chapter, but it was kind of in the middle of like this event that was going on. So I did get a little bit confused on what was going on, but that wasn't because of the language, that was just me being forgetful. But yeah, the characterization was interesting. You know, it was spooky, as I've said, it did creep me out, and it's sapphic as well, if you're looking for that, especially in a classic, it's rare. There is some sapphic moments in this, and yeah, it was just a good time, and I do recommend this if you're into your vampires and Dracula and all of that, because it's good. And then, we haven't spoken about this, but last night while I was finishing my puzzle, I did finish Rouge by Mona Awad. This was for the read a thriller or a horror prompt. This is like a horror fairy tale retelling, kind of based around Beauty and the Beast, but also the the extensive pressures that are put on women regarding beauty and, you know, just unrealistic expectations that are passed from one woman to another, even if it's unknowingly and unwillingly. It's just something that happens, and that's kind of what this book is about. And I do just love the like very unique narrative style of Mona Awad. After I finished this, I still had a bit of my puzzle to do, so I listened to a interview from Barnes & Noble's with Mona Awad, and it was very interesting, and it just kind of reminded me that I think this story felt very different because it was written by Mona Awad, and the kind of, you know, narrative style that she puts into her books is very different. I think if someone else wrote it, it could have very much more read like a weird fantasy fairy tale, but when Mona Awad tells it, it's more of like a magical realism, spooky, creepy, you know, loss of sense of reality sort of horror book, and I think that's completely down to her very unique writing style. So if you've read Bunny and you like that, then I think you will like this. It's very thought-provoking. I definitely want to watch some more people talk about this book because I think there's so much more to pull from it than I have thought of myself. But I do recommend this one if you liked Bunny, or even if you weren't too sure about Bunny. I think the story of this one was maybe a little bit easier to grasp than Bunny. I was definitely reading Bunny like, what the hell is going on? But with this one I was like, okay, I understand what's going on here, like, I get it. But yeah, we finished Rouge. I also haven't rated this one, but, oh, I gave Carmilla 3.75, I keep forgetting to say, and 4 stars to the XX. Did I say ratings for any of these? I don't think I did. On Goodreads, I haven't rated this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to, but again, if I had to, maybe like a 3.75, I think. I think I didn't understand it enough, and that's my own fault, but I don't think I fully grasped it enough for it to be like a 5-star or anything. Maybe a 4 though. Who knows? I want to watch some more stuff on this, but that is everything we read for Summerween. I had so much fun. I'm definitely going to do this again next year. I loved bringing these spooky vibes into July. It was very fun. Comment down below if you partook in Summerween, and if you did, what books did you read for your prompts? And if you didn't, are you looking forward to the Halloween time? Because this has made me so excited for autumn. So, with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and do all of those things, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!